Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sack to the Future. This is the final week of the regular season, week number 17. As you see, the Chicago Bears come in as an 8-point favorite against the Minnesota Vikings. The Bears, however, lost to the Vikings earlier this year in Soldier Field, or, yeah, we'll say Soldier Field, Wrigley Field, whatever. And the Vikings have been red hot after 0-2 start. They have gone 11-2 in their last 13. The Bears have gone 12-1 in their last 13. So this is outside of the Cleveland Browns. These are probably the two hottest teams over the course of most of the season. And again, when they played before, the Vikings won. Also, the Bears lost Willie Gallimore, their starting running back, last week to a injury, and he will never play football again. So that's a big downer for this team. They have already clinched a bye. They have already clinched home field. So there you see 14-1. They've won the division. They've clinched home field. The Vikings at 11-4 are in the playoffs, but I think they've already clinched the 5 seed, but if they lose and the Packers win, it does come down to tiebreakers, and you never know what Madden's going to do, although I believe divisional record will put the Vikings in the 5 seed even if they lose. However, the Vikings are going all out for it. It looks like Fran Tarkenton will be starting. The Bears, on the other hand, Billy Wade will not start. They'll go with Rudy Bukic as the backup and making sure Billy Wade is there for the playoffs. The outstanding Hall of Fame middle linebacker Bill George is also going to sit this one out. So the Bears are going to use a variety of running backs to try to fill the void of Willie Gallimore. They're also going to go with their backup quarterback and backup middle linebacker. However, Atkins, Rosie Taylor, and the other defensive starters will be out there, so it's not a B squad or anything for the Bears, just a couple people sitting out to make sure we don't have traumatic injuries. Here's Fran Tarkenton, 22 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. He is right there with Frank Ryan of the Browns as the best quarterbacks here in 1963 as far as rating goes. And he can be a nightmare with his scrambling ability as well. So we will see how this goes. Doug Atkins currently second in the league in sacks behind Marchetti, who has a ridiculous 24. There's Fran Tarkenton moving around, but throwing a little bit inaccurate, and we like to see that. Check out the rest of the Viking starters. Across the line, you got Alderman, Bowie, Tingelhoff, Rabold, and Lyndon Tingelhoff, the great center. Tommy Mason and Tommy Wilson are the running backs. Flatley and Reichow, the receivers, and Pogue, the tight end. See if you see the defensive starters for the Bears. Hand off to Tommy Mason. He gets 3 yards. Rosie Taylor was up there for the hit. So here's the Bears defense today. Kilcullen, Stan Jones, Leggett, and Doug Atkins. Nothing new there. Tom Bettis in the middle, that's new. Larry Morris and Joe Fortunato still starting at the outside backers, though. Safeties, Rosie Taylor, Richie Pettibone. The corners are Benny McRae and Dave Witzel. So only one change on the defense. The other 10 starters remain in there, and the defense is the strength of the Chicago Bears team. Well, wide open. Flatley gets open for a 31-yard completion. These Vikings really are a pain in the Bears' side. 1960, of course, the Bears were able to go 16-0 in the regular season. And then injuries in Week 17 and the beginning of the playoff game helped derail that season. So that's why you see the cautious benching of Billy Wade for this game and Bill George. Keep the two Bills around for the playoffs. But since 1960, the Vikings have been able to beat the Bears at least once each season. if I remember correctly. I think we split in 61 and 62. I don't know if they've swept me, but I know they've won a game in each of those years, and they won the first one here in 63. So we'd like to even it up, but the Vikings certainly are capable of sweeping the Bears. Of course, 1960, they were a semi-pro team, so that doesn't really count. So we'll say since the Vikings have been a real team and had a quarterback by the name of Fran Tarkenton, who's been much harder, obviously, rivalry. Oh, there goes Tarkenton. Luckily, he pulls a spin move. If he would have just ran for it and went straight, he would have got the first down. But he does a spin move, trying to turn it into a touchdown, I guess, and ends up failing to get the first down. So we'll take that. A rare mistake by Tarkenton. It's blocked! And picked up by Rosie Taylor, and he is going to go the distance. That is the first block kick for the Bears this season. It just happens to come in week 17, so that's how you deal with, you know, your running back being hurt and your starting quarterback and starting middle linebacker not in. You pick it up on special teams. It's good practice for these Bears. So they're going to have to fill in some gaps. And now their attempt is good, and the Bears lead 7-0. Thanks to the special teams. There's Butler taking the knee and giving the ball to Tarkenton at the 25-yard line. Bears Tommy Mason. Last week he had 89 yards on 21 carries. For the season, he's just over 1,000 yards with 8 touchdowns. A nice year for Tommy Mason. Of course, 1,000 yards is always a good season. But, you know, here in Sack to the Future, while we're in the 60s and Jim Brown is still a thing, it's nowhere near leading the league as Jim Brown goes over 2,000 every single year. And another ill-advised spin move. So the Vikings, if they would stop spinning, they might be able to put more pressure on the Bears, but we will take the continuous spinning for no apparent reason. Spun right into the tackle there, and I'm not sure what I picked. Let's change it to something we're comfortable with. Oh, I actually covered my spot on that one, and Tarkenton had to throw it away. Hey, Stonewall, how's it going? The Bears scored on a blocked field goal attempt, so the Bears' offense hasn't actually had the ball yet. So the only thing you missed on defense was that Hall of Fame middle linebacker Bill George is not starting, just sitting him out since the Bears have already clinched the 1 seed. Just make sure, since he's the guy I usually control, user control, then I want to make sure that I have him around for the playoffs. And then on offense, you'll see backup quarterback Rudy Bukic is going to make this start because I don't want Billy Wade hurt either. You see, has not thrown a pass yet, as Billy Wade has started and finished all 15 previous games. And if you caught last week's game, you'll know that Willie Gallimore is done for his career. Tragic injury to well, I should say, Well, unfortunate injury to end this season early for him. And then, of course, in real life, 1964, spring training, absolute tragic car accident. Herman Lee, Ted Karras, Pyle, Davis, and the other guy, Ronnie Bull and Charles Bivens are running backs today. Morris and Farrington, the receivers, and tight end is Mike Ditka. So Bo Farrington is the other guy that was in the car. So Gallimore's done for his career because of the injury, and Bo Farrington just has this as his last regular season game of his career, and hopefully he will win the Super Bowl before that car accident occurs. Fake it to Bivens here. Completion out to Marconi, and that's enough for the first down. So Bukic starts out 2 of 2. It's a good start. Easy passes, but at least he completed them.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Got Ronnie Bull behind Marconi back there. This play, and Bull runs right into the defensive end and loses a yard. Now there's Holtz on the tackle.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in the old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward because they wanted to play fast and get to the quarterback or the running backs quicker than ever before.
Well, first look at the NFL.
See Charles Bivens back there now. Again, the Bears now more of a running back by committee type team. Complete to Bo Farrington. He's tackled immediately. I believe that was tackled by Rip Hawkins, the league leader in tackles. Here's a look at the defense. Holtz, Prest, Stoll, Dixon, and of course the all-great Jim Marshall. There's Rip Hawkins in the middle, Winston and Stonebreaker, the outside backers. Lampson and Kalsulki. The safeties, Callan and Schrockman, are your corners. 3rd and 6 coming up. It's complete to Farrington for the first down. So Bukic 4 of 4. It's a great start for him. Nice to see that he can play quarterback just in case Billy Wade goes down in the playoffs. Bivens will get a chance to carry the ball, and he doesn't do any better. Just 1 yard. These other backs don't have the explosive, or quickness, I should say, of Willie Gallimore. But they could still pick up, you know, find holes and read blocks well. Ronnie Bull is a tough runner. He will likely get the bulk of the carries going forward. So the Bears taking some time off the clock here in the first quarter. Nice long drive. This time they'll hand it off to Marconi, and he is able to run for a first down. Nice run by Marconi. 14-yard gain. So they, Caceres left the team earlier this year, and then now Gallimore's hurt, so they are down to the minimum 3 backs that you need, 2 running backs and a fullback. They'll fake this one. See if Ditka can get there. It's a little bit thrown too far for him. There's an injury on the field. We're not going to have a clue who it is as the camera hides behind the wall. Jim Marshall's still out there, so it wasn't him. Nor should it be. His injury rating should be about 190, but I can only go up to 99. Ah! There was a hole if I could have got past number 79, but I could not. So that's the end of the first quarter. Bears on top of the Vikings, 7-0 at this point. 10-play drive so far. This will be the 11th play. Oh, that could be picked. Yep. Bad decision by Bukic there, and that's going to cost me a touchdown. Oh my gosh. As soon as I threw it, I knew it was the wrong spot to put it, and it cost me a touchdown. Well, luckily the Bears special teams came through with a blocked field goal for a touchdown because the Vikings defense just got a touchdown of their own. So neither offense has put a point on the board, but it's 7-6. And that extra point is good, and we're all tied up at 7 here early in the second quarter. Bruce shoulder. Man, I don't even care if I lose the game, but I do not want injuries. Need to be healthy for the playoffs. If the Vikings would right now agree that I give them the win and they let the game end with no further injuries, I would make that deal. But we can't do such a thing, so I'm still going to try to win the game and just hope that no injuries happen. God, I just said I need no injuries. Looks like Ronnie Bull's hurting now, and Charlie Bivens, the only running back left. Marconi, the fullback, is still around. But this is not good. Not good at all. I hope Ronnie Bull's okay there on the sidelines.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last time.
Marconi just slams into the line, gains about 2 yards, and will punt. There's a nice hard hit. Put on Butler at least. Will return. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Just back spasms for Bull. Hopefully nothing serious. Tommy Mason, 6 carries, just the 1 yard, so that's good.
Just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
And after Mason again, he gains a couple of yards. He does 3 yards on 7 carries.
not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
And there's a nice sack by Leggett on Tarkinen. Brings up a 4th and 15.
A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
For the O-line, they go to the sideline.
Ronnie Bull hopefully coming back soon. And hopefully it's not something that you can re-aggravate before the game's over. Oh, there he is right there, actually, on the punt return. So Bull's already back. Bukic started off 4-4, but I think he's missed his last 3 passes in a row. Did Dick get his feet in? Yes, he did. Out of bounds at the 37.
Can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching your football, whether you're catching it in their hands, cradle, comes together.
There's Ronnie Bull breaking the tackle and then getting hammered by multiple people. Don't twist that back too much.
Great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Charlie Bivens in there.
Blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of protection. Not much space to run with.
Charlie Bivens with a huge hole up the middle.
12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the...
Bears already working on the clock as they just need to get out of this game with no more injuries. Bivens able to spin off a tackler and get up to the 6-yard line.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now let's go! Green, 39!
Switch it up here and look to throw.
It's complete to Farrington, but not enough for the first.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, if you do leave man coverage, Gordon, the drag routes are pretty good here.
And Bivens just powers his way into the end zone for the touchdown. The Bears regain the lead here.
His first touchdown on the year. And the Bears
Oh, hey, Vinny.
in the lead.
Well, I'm glad you are able to get it now. So you just saw Bivens running for the touchdown. What has happened this game so far, the Vikings drove down the field, but the Bears got their first field goal block of the season and returned it for a touchdown. Then the Vikings defense answered with a 91-yard or 95-yard pick 6. So you just saw the only offensive points of the game so far as Bivens took it into the end zone. Ronnie Bull also went out with an injury, but he's back. And my offensive lineman went out with an injury, and I do not think he's coming back this game. Also, the starting quarterback and starting middle linebacker are sitting out because I was afraid of the injuries. And rightfully so, since I've already suffered 2 in the first half here.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up.
Hurry up, here we go! Green!
Bears doing a good job against Tommy Mason, though. 8 carries, just 5 yards.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They're going to look to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's good.
Tommy Mason with a nice move. Turns it into a nice gain up to the midfield, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning. So we're at the 2-minute warning here in Minnesota. Vikings and Bears in a interesting game. The first 2 touchdowns had nothing to do with offense, unless you count throwing an interception as contributing. But the special teams of the Bears and the defense of the Vikings scored the first 2 touchdowns. Then the Bears finally put an offensive drive together. and got a touchdown the traditional way. Ball right at the 50-yard line. 2 minutes to go. Bears would like to keep this a 7-point lead before the half, but we will see. Mason runs over the backup middle linebacker, the guy who's starting today, Bettis. And luckily Bettis was able to bring him down, though. There's popped up in the air and falls harmlessly to the ground. Nice hit put on by Pettibone to jar the ball loose. Who's over there? Right, Kyle. That's complete. And gets out of bounds, but well short of the first. See what they decide to do here. Looks like they're going to punt. Although last night the St. Louis Cardinals iced a game by looking like they were going to punt and then faking that punt. A 13-yard punt, wow. Cox with a horrible punt. They probably should have just faked the punt, actually. Ronnie Bull tackled by Rip Hawkins, who, again, coming into the game, leads the league in tackles, so that's only going to help him. Yeah, injuries before the playoffs are always the worst. And Bukic just getting out of the pocket and throwing that away. Ronnie Bull able to pick up the first down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at down.
Nice run by Ronnie Bull there. And now the Bears will go ahead and call a timeout and see if we can't get some points before the half. Put Marconi in the backfield this time. 14-7 Bears over the Vikings. Week 17 here in 1963. Sack to the future. And Bukic just misses Ditka on that one. Bukic obviously not as good of a quarterback as Billy Wade, but showing to be at least somewhat capable in this game. Again, only starting because if they're going to injure the quarterback, I don't want it to be Billy Wade. But obviously I don't want Bukic to get hurt either. Very accurate on that throw. And timeout, Chicago Bears. One timeout remaining. Put Charlie Bivens back there. Again, trying to not overuse Ronnie Bull either, as he suffered a minor injury earlier today. Yeah, well, that's that would be true to history. Also be a very exciting but nerve-wracking game, because the Giants' offense has been outstanding since Tittle came back, and the Bears' defense has been good all year. Oh, get out. Idiots. just pushed by. Look at the Lions up 28-7 now. If the Lions were not already officially eliminated, we might say Lions and somebody in the championship game. If you want to see the Lions destroy someone, go over to the John M channel and check that out. That happened last night. It was not close. All right. See if we can get lucky with a Hail Mary here. Oh, almost came down with it. Nice fight, but that'll end the first half. Bears leading the Vikings 14-7, trying to get some revenge. The Bears and Giants, of course, have earned byes as the 1 and 2 seeds, so Chalk would say it is going to be Giants-Bears, but if you've stayed with Sack to the Future the first couple of years, you know that Chalk never happens. No stubble. So a little bit of trash talking between the Packers and Giants there. Depending what happens, I don't know if the Giants will. The Packers are going to get in as likely the 6th seed unless they somehow lose to Jacksonville. Which means if they win their first game, they'll actually be playing the Bears, not the Giants. So yeah, I'd have to agree. It's a much better chance it's going to be Giants-Bears. Although if the Packers take out the Bears, then all this trash talking might come to something. All right. The Bears have held the Vikings to 68 yards, so it's good news. Don't stumble over your own man, jeez. Well, the running game has definitely taken a dip with the loss of Gallimore. Underneath to Farrington, gets just about 5 yards. Brings up a 3rd and 6.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this game. This will be 3rd and 6.
That is correct. I will argue, though, that the Vikings are a slightly better team than the semi-pro Texans, but no doubt the Lions really beat the shit out of semi-pro team, which was good for the entire NFL, really, to teach the semi-pro teams a lesson, as they have pulled enough upsets this year. The Vikings, I think, are 4-1 in this division. So a division where we all have a team. The toughest division in football, I will say. Bears, Lions, and Packers all human-controlled, and the Vikings have gone 4-1 against us, I believe. I think only the Packers have taken down the Vikings so far. Typical Packers fandom, talking trash as the 6th seed. 6. But they were in the Super Bowl last year. And that was as a computer control team, so they obviously do have the talent. It's going to be a strong NFC outside of the Saints. The Packers, Cardinals, Giants, Bears, and these Vikings are all pretty tough outs. They keep switching what side Reichau's on, and he keeps making plays. Get off your block. Okay. 11 carries, 15 yards. So luckily the running game for the Vikings has not been there. Like it was the first game, they were able to run and throw all over the place, and it was very difficult. Having them just good at one of the two is certainly better, although still not easy. Vikings get even better in 64, so not looking forward to that. As a name that some people might recognize, Alan Page, will join the team next year.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Tarkenton going to run for it. Oh! Takes a shot to the back of the leg while he was engaged with someone else, and just pops back up as if it didn't hurt at all. Don't know if I believe that, but it's the kind of games Fran Tarkenton likes to play. Now hopefully we'll get another 13-yard punt here from Cox. He's too good of a punter to do that twice, but we can hope. Instead he just goes for the safe bet of blasting it into the end zone for the touchback.
The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done.
All right.
Maybe take command of this.
Way to run directly out of bounds there. Gain of 3 at least. Ronnie Bullett's first reception of the game. Oh, there he makes one man miss. Ronnie Bull might be off to the races here. Ronnie Bull. All right. Big run by Ronnie Bull. That's great for his confidence going into the playoffs, as he is the man now. With Gallimore done forever. Jim Marshall not happy about that, but the Bears ecstatic.
Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude.
When after is good. Bears take a 21-7 lead here.
Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Just to give you an idea of how ridiculous this division is. Talked earlier about the Lions just obliterating a team last night. That was their 10th win of the season, so 10-6. And looking good on offense, especially doing it. But they are going to finish in dead last in this division. 10-6. Last place. Quite remarkable when you see the... So, of course, the NFC South is an all semi-pro division, so take them out of it. But even the NFC West, where you have real teams in 49ers, Cardinals, and Rams, the Cardinals won that division with 9 wins. The Lions finishing dead last in their division with 10 wins. I believe the Cardinals may have beaten the Lions actually in the regular season. So, not saying the Cardinals don't belong there, but I'm just saying 10 wins to finish in last is pretty rough.
Here we go with 2nd and 7.
Watch left, watch left. Tight end to the left, tight end left. Leopard! Leopard! Hey, we got four down.
And to give this time to the tailback.
Hand off to Mason. He gets a few more yards. He's up to 19 now on 13 carries. Makes it a 3rd and 1. I have to go back. Well, they are doing 3 wide receivers. Well, let's just keep the nickel and hope that we can stop the run.
On 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Back 99 Philly!
Nice play by Pettibone coming up and making the tackle. And there's an injury. It better be on the Vikings. He got the 1st down before we even pushed back, though. They will give him the forward momentum. Always got to wonder who's hurt here in Madden 18. This is the last regular season game for the Bears in Madden 18, as 64 again will be moving to Madden 20. All teams have been named, numbered, and all that goodness. They've all been rated as well, and we're somewhere about half of the teams have been dressed. So hopefully a fairly quick transition from 63 to 64. It's Bettis. All right, well, George is going to have to come in and play a little bit then. Obviously the right move, keeping George on the bench, as the middle linebacker got hurt. If it would have been George, that would have crushed the Bears' chances in the playoffs. Now I got to make sure he doesn't get hurt the rest of the way, though. So the Bears have 3 injuries today. A couple more last week. Starting to fall apart physically. I don't know if it's programming in Madden or what, but it seems like the 1 seeds rarely do anything. Sometimes it's injuries like you're seeing happen here. Oh, there's a nice play. Nice play there to keep targeted for picking up the 1st down, though.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
Cox just puts this one inside 10. This might be, yes, a good bounce. A nice Bears bounce. Keeps it from being a fantastic punt. It's another touchback. So, Ronnie Bull, 10 carries, 120 yards. Heck of a day. Although most of that was on that big run, but still. He will gladly accept the average being at 12 yards a carry. Nice 6-yard run there for Ronnie.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future.
Couldn't get off my own guard tackle combination and did not get the 1st down. Bring out the big boys for this one. And not get the 1st. Jim Marshall, doesn't matter how big the line looks, he gets through and stops the drive cold, and the Bears will have to punt.
We are set to bring you the home stretch here, the 4th quarter. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away.
He got into that one. And Not much of a return up to the 18-yard line only.
And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. They have, by the way, gone to the 3rd quarter now at Ford Field in Detroit. The Lions have scored again, widening their lead even further. We'll keep you updated on that one.
Lions just scored again. It is 42-7 in Detroit at the moment. And that ball's knocked away, or jarred loose, I should say, by Benny McCray. That's in a lot of traffic, but comes up incomplete. Targeting just 5 of 11.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They're set up to throw.
And there's Tarkenton roaming around. Atkins and Witzel on the sack. Corner came up to put a hit on him as well. Atkins, that's his first half sack of the game, so he came in trailing Marchetti by 5 sacks. It was kind of unrealistic, but the Vikings have done a good job on him. He just finally gets his name in the books with a half a sack there. So he's still 4.5 behind Marchetti, as Marchetti's going to easily finish as the sack leader in 1963. Oh, Ronnie Bull breaks that tackle, then just stands there to get hammered. Off the corner with a nice tackle there. Gain of 0. Go ahead and put Marconi in back there. Gino Marchetti, an excellent defensive end. Atkins is too. I mean, they both go to the Hall of Fame, but Marchetti certainly worthy of winning the sack title.
And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down.
Here we go now.
From the midfield stripe, they look to close.
There's a nice catch. Bukic, his 12th completion. He's up to 95 yards now.
Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Jenks in motion now. Marconi pushed around a little bit and then finally brought down.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around.
Okay.
That's not easily done.
All right.
But he did there.
Getting it down to about 5 minutes to go here.
All right, here we go.
Ronnie Bull gets a couple more yards there, makes it a 3rd and 8.
Still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. It's a little bit more pressure.
Bivens gets a couple more yards. Take some time off the clock.
Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. So on 4th down, Sean McVay going to send out the field goal unit. This to make it a 3-score game late.
Looking at about a 40-yarder here. Kick is up. Vikings guy dove, almost got there, but not quite. And the Bears add the 3 points, make it a 3-score game. And that should, well, at least it makes me more comfortable. 4 minutes and 8 seconds to go. I guess the Vikings, with all 3 timeouts, still have a shot here, but a 3-score game definitely makes it less likely. So as they did in 61 and 62, it looks like the Bears and Vikings are going to split their season series here in 63. And who knows if they will meet in the playoffs for the first time or not. Now, the number 5 seed is not bad at all, because that means you get to play the semi-pro division winner, which I believe is the Saints this year. So Vikings being the 5 seed, definitely better than being the 6 seed, and you might even consider it better than the 3 seed, as I believe the playing the semi-pro team always better than playing anyone else. Possibly. I mean, if my team keeps jumping outside and Madden wants to give them a bunch of penalties, we'll see how it goes.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Here we go now. Blue landing. Hot. Hot. Mike 61. Mike 61.
That's complete for the first down. Targeted now 6 of 12, 94 yards. Ooh, they're going all 5 wide here. Let's see, he's trying to get open. Targeted just fell down on his own apparently, and then someone comes in to touch him and claim the sack. That was odd. That was being the safety, so I was concentrating on covering receivers. Didn't really see what happened to Targeted, but he did fall down.
All right, here we go. Blue landing. No, check.
Targeted running and sliding because somehow the computer knows how to slide, but there's an injury anyways, off ball. It's Vikings have had 0 injuries. The Bears have had 4, but Bull came back, so only 3. And they're not going to tell us who it is.
This is 3rd and 7.
Here we go. 319. 319.
He's going to run for it and just push Bill George off with a stiff arm. He just stiffed arm a Hall of Fame middle linebacker, but did not get the first down. I call the spy here as Targeted seems to want to run.
Let's go. Blue landing.
Targetin's going to run, but there's the spy in action, and Targetin's going to be short of the first down. Well, nobody said the Vikings were unpredictable.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive. Go for it. Hey, defense, you got me. And it's a challenge to them to see if they
Ronnie Bull spinning around, still fighting, refusing to go down, but finally the 3rd guy takes him down. And that should be a 2-minute warning. There it is, 2-minute warning. Bears 24, Vikings 7. Bears with the ball. Targeted came up short on his scramble, and that should seal the deal.
So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one on the left-hand column.
Jim Marshall comes all the way around from the other end and makes the tackle. He's having a good game. 3rd and 4 coming up.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is is in sync right there. Obviously, guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The Bears on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 4.
There's nice blocking, picks up the first down. And if the Vikings don't call timeout, that's going to do it.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Doesn't look like they're calling timeout. The Vikings have finally agreed to, let's just get, I should be kneeling it here. Hopefully there's no injury on this last play. Let's go down. Okay. That'll do it. Bears win, even up the season series, get to 15-1 on the season. Vikings will fall to 11-5, but still should be the 5 seed. All right, John, thanks for watching. Good luck with the repairs. And thanks to everyone for watching this game. This is the end of the regular season for the Bears. There's still plenty of action tonight, in fact. There should be action on all 3 of the other channels, as the John M. and Tears 89 channel should be bringing you the Cowboys and Steelers, and the Trash Talking Packers will be on the Vinny X Wolf channel tonight as well against a semi-pro team. So you might see another performance like the Lions put out against a semi-pro team. Feel bad for the Jacksonville Jaguars, but that's okay. They're just semi-Jags. So, Bears score in every quarter. I didn't realize that, but they did. They win 24-7. Couple of injuries to the offensive, one to the offensive line, but one was to Ronnie Bull, and he came back. One was to the backup linebacker who I let start over Bill George. So that call by the coach may have just saved me. Billy Wade obviously sat on the bench the whole time, so he's fine. Bukic made it through. Ronnie Bull came back. I said there was one other injury, but I think it was just a injury where he could have came back, and they decided to sit him for the rest of the game. So overall, not too bad. Maybe a lineman was lost, but going into the playoffs, they'll be minus starting running back Gallimore and minus their left guard. Otherwise, they seem to be fairly healthy. You see Bukic threw for 95 yards, Tarkenton for 94. Not exactly the aerial assault that you might see in some other games, but it is what it is. Bears win 24-7. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.